Thank you. Michael Raich, followed by Diane Cipa.
Don't you just love the Pennsylvania right to know law? It just forced Robertson to make his little generic statement about a meeting with Representative Raich. I originally wanted to discuss at length the right to know issue that I'm sure the board would obviously love to stifle. The right to knows made us aware of that special meeting on March the 7th that was arranged by the superintendent with Representative Raich, way up at RK Mellon, out of sight, not at the administration building where you have a beautiful meeting room. And two of the scheduled topics of this meeting that he did not mention were cyber schools and right to knows. Why? Are you soliciting help from Harrisburg to try to do something about the right to know? I wonder if you're also working with a pocket judge to step in and make a ruling against the right to knows. I also wanted to know why you and Representative Raich did not sign in at RK Mellon like everyone else must do according to your policy. I guess no sign in, no meeting, right, solicitor? I had questions about the superintendent emailing Raich concerning cyber school expenses that are now being put at $717,000 above the budgeted $500,000. What does that have to do with him? By the way, was this special meeting in the minutes or on the agenda? Were there 5 directors present at this meeting? Wouldn't that be a quorum? Is that legal? But I changed my mind about the right to knows when I saw on tonight's agenda that the timber was going to be cut on the Laurel Valley acreage at a seemingly low price of $30,000. How much will the company who cuts it make? Is this the first step of taking care of the big fish? Are they finally going to start surfacing? First the timber, then the coal, probably for another pittance. Maybe the West Point Mining Corporation will make a bid. Isn't one of their executives a friend of Ligonier? And finally, the plum, our gas. Who will step up and make another generous offer? Another friend? We are still waiting and watching to see what plans you have for our gas. The timing of this is interesting. 1 month before an election. Wow, how many mills will you save us? Save a little, and they will forget all the devious, sneaky deeds that have been done. But at least we may find out what we've been waiting for nearly 2 years. Who is pulling your strings?
Sorry. Diane Cipa, followed by Scott Boring.
Good evening. You know, it's funny, looking at the anticipated cuts is really an absolute slap in the face from reality. And, you know, it's not that you don't know that it has to be done, and it's not that you don't expect it, but as is always the case when you face something like that, it's fairly overwhelming. I don't see how you can not cut what's been proposed. I think you have to. And obviously you're going to have to cut more. I don't want to see a tax increase, and I would hope that you don't, but you're going to have to really, you know, dig a lot further to try and balance the budget. And if there's any shot at not raising taxes, you know, the taxpayers would certainly appreciate it. But I think that the reality check has happened, and that the hard choices are now being faced. And I'd like to focus on what do we do now, because there was a phrase that just rang out to me in the study that was based used to base the closure of the school, and that was that you have to track costs to preserve savings. And so, in looking at the budget figures we saw tonight, The proposed tax increase, if it were to go full out, is $806,000. The shortfall, even after the tax increase, would be about $570 some thousand. And I noticed that the state